I was listening to the discussion and I was just disgusted. Like, oh, LeBron. We're not talking about LeBron enough. We're not appreciating him. Like, my God, how much can this man be appreciated? Like, is every conversation supposed to be dedicated to him? I do not understand. Like, the Lakers are a losing team. They are a nothing team. And the only reason they are discussed is because LeBron James is on that team. Like, what are we doing? I don't understand. What isn't he being appreciated for?
His level of play, his consistency.
Then why do I hear about it every day?
His status as the face of the NBA. Can you imagine? He's
not the face of the NBA. He's a co-face of the NBA. Yes, I said that.
Who's the face?
No, okay. LeBron. This is where we part.
That's fine.
LeBron is still the face that most people associate with the NBA. Not in terms of winning or who's best.
I disagree with that.
Completely different.
His teams don't get the most rated games. Like, they don't generate the most revenue. When you go to like the NBA social channels, his plays are not the most viewed. It is just not true. They're co-faces. They've been co-faces for a very long time. Who's they? Him
Who's
and
the other
Steph.
one? Go ahead.
It was like a Magic Bird type of thing. No, but it's like the metrics support that. This insistence to keep saying that he is, it's like, no, they're co-faces. I'm not saying he's not a face, but he's not the face. He's not even the most popular anymore. Like, there's different metrics you can look at, but what I'm just saying is they're clearly co-faces. And like, he's recognized. He's recognized.
I think when we use these new age social media metrics, I don't think that necessarily corresponds. That's maybe how we do it.
It's not just social media metrics, endorsements.
I'm just talking about what you just said. I think the NBA, when LeBron retires, they will be searching for a face, and Steph Curry will still be playing, right?
They don't need to search. He generates the most money for the NBA. The Warriors got the most games. What do you mean they'll still be searching? He is a cash cow for them.
What do you mean endorsements? Steph's endorsements rival LeBron's?
Yes. He's like right under him, but yeah, they're comparable. Oh. Yes. I'm not saying that Bron isn't ahead. What I'm saying is this idea that he's just like the clear and he's the face and he's who most people think of. That's just not true. That's why they were like, it's just not the truth. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's like this assumption that it is. And I'm just saying, like, for the data has shown for years that like they should be leaning into certain other players. Whether or not they want to like do it or not is not my question. But like the fans, the audience tell you who they think of, who's the face. In fact,
other players like beyond Steph. You said other players, plural. So we have. We already know how you feel about Steph. Who are the other ones?
No, I think they are the two faces, and I don't think like when I hear all these conversations like Luka's taking over and this person's coming, I'm like, not yet. They haven't won anything. They haven't done anything. I would think a player to watch is someone like Ja. He is someone who. Because I don't think the face is always just about like being the very best player in the NBA. There's other things, right? There's like charisma, all these kinds of things. Like when you think of like when Magic was a face, right? Like they're charming, they're likable. There's something about them is what I'm saying. So there could be a number of people. But Ja is like one of those people, like he's on the come up. I don't know if he will be, but he's another one where you see like the fans are just very, very, very into him. That's what I'm saying. And so
I get it, Natalie. I get it. This is a more nuanced conversation than an emotional one. And what I'm saying simply is this.
Don't call me emotional.
I wasn't talking about you. I was saying the conversation is emotional. I am not going there.
No.
I was not going there.
Come on, Natalie.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, Natalie.
Natalie, you know better. Natalie, you know better.
This is Vincent and our thing, right? Like we tango like this.
And Natalie sends me the text talking about who hurt you, and then says I call her emotional. Now, to the point, because I'm gonna have to bring the temperature down.
Okay.
And it's a much more nuanced conversation. I think when I consider the face of the NBA, I think of who most fans kind of associated with, and the marketing and what the storytelling has been around. Because LeBron has the Nike machine behind him, I think that gives him an upper leg. And if you think about it, since Nike stopped advertising for the NBA, the NBA's marketing has been worse. And
so
if Steph had the Nike machine behind him.
How do you measure who most fans think of? That's what I'm saying, because there are things that would say that most fans aren't thinking about him anymore as like the main person. That's what I'm saying. So how do you determine that?
I think he still takes up the most oxygen in the room. I think because he willingly puts himself forward and makes himself the story, even if there is no story to actually make. Steph is a little more understated. I won't say he sticks to basketball, but he's not going to outwardly put himself out there, especially talking about issues outside of the game. You heard LeBron talking about Jerry Jones. Even if it was completely off base in the discussion, he put himself out there. He's the person that most people want to go to and say, what does LeBron think about this? You may be curious about what Steph thinks about this, but LeBron has put himself at the front of the line and takes up the most oxygen. It doesn't mean that we should want
for better or worse, by the way,
than anybody else.
I was going to say for better or worse too. I'll say that.
For better or worse. That's what I'm saying. It's a much more nuanced conversation, and Steph has done a really good job of minding his business and drinking his water. You know what I mean? And sometimes I don't think that's an accurate
description of him, but regardless, I don't think the numbers support that. I'm a data person. I'm a metric person.
I would say the data.
And I think the data supports that there's been co-faces of the league. Like if one of them isn't in the finals, the ratings are down. Like, how are you the face of the NBA and the NBA doesn't want to even give you like the most TV games? You're not like do you know the Warriors?
Your team's not good.
Do you know the Warriors?
Because your team sucks.
No, because the Warriors have surpassed.
Why.
The Warriors have because the Lakers still have a lot of games. They actually have I think the second most or something. Even
too
though
many.
Their team sucks.
I would say still too many.
And you know what? The Warriors have surpassed the Lakers in value. Do you know what it takes to do that? That's a huge thing. What
you know that has to do
I'm
with
not
like
surprised.
your building,
fact,
right?
But hold on,
your
fact.
I was gonna say your building.
The fact
compared to
you're in the Bay Area, you're in San Francisco.
But they were already they were already up there. They were already
on the top.
Hold on. No, that they passed the Knicks too. They are number one. And the thing about
the Knicks haven't won a playoff series since I was in high school.
But that was happening before they even got to Chase. It's not just a Chase thing. That's what I'm saying. You cannot say that it's like about that now. And the fact, to me, what you said, the fact that he has Under Armour and not Nike, and he still has that level of impact, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what shows you. Even when you look at all the list of like top players, and they talk about them. And yeah, LeBron is always up there. He's above him. But the fact is that they're so close, and he's done that in a shorter time and amassed that kind of stuff in a shorter time. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they'll be looking for the next. The next is here. He's already sharing the stage with him, and he's here.
There isn't that. And here's the other part, Natalie. Here's the other part of it. When you're talking about a face, you're talking about a story that people have followed and recognized. He was on this cover of Sports Illustrated at 16 years old. People have watched him, but that comes with being a face. That's the equity that you have built, positively or negative. That's the equity
that you
have.
But they have two different stories.
Wait, please. I don't mean to be emotional.
No, you're right. Go ahead.
When you think of tennis, you still think of Venus and Serena, regardless of where they're ranked, because their story was so unique, because of the equity, because of their longevity, because of how long they've been there, because of the Nike machine. It's not saying, well, Steph is fighting from behind, so because he made up more ground with the Under Armour machine, that gives him extra credit. No. We just have to judge things as they are.
That's not the argument I'm stating. That's not what I said.
That was the case.
And I know you're not.
That seemed to be the case that you were making.
And I'm not saying you're making that case either, but I would say this. Like in a lot of things, when we say the data suggests this, the data suggests that. I think in basketball and otherwise, there's kind of like a generational divide with which data we absorb, which data we recognize as legitimate. And I would say, forget about the divide.
Social media? I'm not sure how much weight you're supposed to give to social media.
Let's expand it. I want social media in there.
But I'm not only using social.
But I want everything. So if we consider, I don't think we can say the data because nobody is looking at all of it. We are partial to something. You may be partial, Natalie, to social media. I may be partial to other things. But I can't say what I'm partial to is the definitive answer. I would like this. Here's a research assignment for all of us, or NBC, Peacock Research Department. Consider all data on the table. New data, medium data, old ancient data. Let's put it all together and let's see what the definitive data says about the face of the NBA, and then we will come back and we will discuss it. There's a research project that we will do, and we'll do it in a week. Okay?
Sure, I will say
somebody
this
out there,
final.
whoever I'm giving this assignment to, I don't even know, you got a week.
I will say this one final thing, because I actually worked with market research and product marketing for many years. And there's a thing. There's a thing when people say, like, you know, people have a way of believing that, like, what we actually think doesn't mean that's like what the reality is, right? Our perception is not reality. And so there becomes a point in time when you tell yourself something over and over, so you just believe that it is, but it may not be the case. And that's really my point. And
that's fine.
And that's all I'm saying. So it's not as clear as people would make it seem. It's not as like he clears, he's this, he's the de facto. And that's only my only point. Right.
We just reached a compromise. It's not as clear. It could be. He might be the face, but it's not clear that he is. All right, I like it. Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.